morning, everybody. I'm going live right now, just because whoever wants to stream in can, whoever doesn't can just watch it later. I want to just go in detail about the different cap sizes I offer, which one's better, how to measure for yourself, what's more preferred, etc. I get these questions all the time, and I have a little video that I've made summarizing how to custom order and choose your topper in general. But this video will primarily be about cap sizes, how to choose the right cap size for you, etc. Okay, so to start, the smallest cap I make in a silk top is a 5x6 or 5x5. So this one right here is a 5x6. Usually I make these small caps for those who have very petite heads or have very little hair loss on top. But the thing with these small caps with a silk top is that they kind of just sit on top. They don't really hug the head good, which is why I like to suggest ordering at least a 7x7. Now that sounds scary for some because that is a big cap, even if you have very minimal hair loss or thinning. But again, the smaller caps, I really just make them because I know some people have a budget and they're in the 500s range and they're cheaper. So that's the reason why I make such small caps, but I really do prefer, and I like to sell, and I hear the feedback I get from my clients that the 7x7s and higher, the 8x8s and 9x9s are the most comfortable, because the 5x6 usually hit like a 5x6 here and it ends right here. So it usually clips into more sensitive areas. So I like to suggest going bigger. So here, for example, what this cap size is. This one looks to be a 9x9. So this is how you measure. Now take a measuring tape, not a stick, because it needs to be bendable. And you're going to measure from the center top all the way down to the bottom. And you're going to stretch, because you don't just put the cap on your head. You stretch it and clip, you stretch it and clip. You don't just plop it on top. So it's the same way of measuring these caps. You're going to stretch. So this is a 9 from top to bottom. And you measure across, not from the top, but from here. Because you're not going to measure from here 9. You're going to measure where it's going to clip in on the sides. So you measure from around here to here. And it would measure, when you stretch the cap, to be a 9x9 as well. Just double check. Yeah, it's a 9x9. So again, something like this, I'm wearing a full wig right now, so I can't try it on, but would hit, here is where the 9x9s hit. 9. And it would hit me towards the tip, right here. I have made up to 12x12. A 12x12 is something that's more closer to a full wig because it reaches like kind of over here and, kind of where my ponytail is right here. But people like it. You don't have to go for a full wig. They can still wear their hair underneath. But again, if you want a smaller cap, it's really just meant for those with petite size heads, or those with very minimal hair loss. But again, it usually just tends to poof up on top and just sit there instead of hugging the head, because the bigger caps are going to be stretched and hugging, while the smaller caps are just going to be clipping over here, and sometimes, especially on larger, wider heads, it like bulges up a little bit. So I do like to suggest going bigger. How to measure your own hair? You would just take the measuring tape. Let's say you want to clip in from here to here. So you'd measure like this, which would reach about to a 7, and you'd go from front to back, depending on where you want to put it. If you plan to wear it, an inch behind the scalp, you measure from here. Let's say you want to go, towards a little behind the crown, it would be like this, which is also a 7. So you would order a 7x7 or a 7x8. Let's say you want a bigger cap, something that's going to go from here to here. That would be an 11 by 11. And I can do, a 6x7, a 5x7, an 8x10. It doesn't matter. It's up to you what you like to custom order or what you want to order. I'm actually planning to stop taking custom orders for some time. I'll have a wait list. But that's how you measure cap sizes. So, and also just to show you what my hand-tied back cap is, here's an example of it. It looks very similar to my wefted cap, just at the bottom is hand-tied and it's mesh. This is kind of what a mono top is, a full lace cap, but I still prefer the silk tops because it has a natural scalp line. The reason why I'm starting to make a bunch of these hand-tied caps is because the wefted caps need enough hair to cover the weft tracks, because if I don't put enough hair on the silk top, then if the wind, I have enough hair on this one, but if I don't have enough hair, you'll be able to start seeing the weft, especially if the wind blows or whatever. So I like to make sure that the hair is covering enough. That's why I have these new hand-tied caps. I could put a lot less hair on it, even though the silk top does have a decent amount of hair, which can be thinned out if you want to. But there are no weft tracks to cover. That's why it is good. Just to go back to the cap sizes on one more thing. If you're trying to cover hair, meaning, let's say you have like frizzy thin hair underneath and you want to cover it, and you have a decent amount of hair on top, you still need to go for a bigger cap, because if you go for a small cap, for example a 5x6, this is providing great coverage in the front and the sides, but towards the back, especially over here where your head is wider, it's going to split. The hair is going to split. Now you can either put some extensions, people like to do, or you can go for a bigger cap. I like to suggest going for a bigger cap because it's just easier, you just throw it on. But again, smaller caps are good for those with make sure that the color matches right, but it's really just meant for those with minimal coverage, who have a lower budget, because they are in the 500s, and the bigger caps are usually in the 700s to 800s, sometimes in the 600s, depending on how big you want to go and how long the length is and the color, etc. But yeah, the back will always have less hair, because it just, when you wear it on your head, it just the back of your head is bigger and wider than the front of your head, so it will kind of split in the back. So you want to make sure that, for example, there will always be enough hair in the front, but towards the back is where it splits. That's why if you put the topper towards here, it reaches towards here, there'll be more coverage and less splittage towards the back. Again, I'm wearing my full wig right now, and I didn't put it in so well, so I have a little bit of a bulge in the back. So I'm sorry I can't try these on to show you what I mean, but that's the basic gist of it. I'll make another video talking about colors, but that was all. I want to just keep this video mainly on cap sizes. I'll make another video next about colors. Alright guys, girls, have a great day, and I will speak to you soon. Bye!